Hi, my name is Christina and I will be teaching the Summer Swag Quilt class at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store. I will be going through your everything that you need for the class and letting you know about the homework that has to be done beforehand so that we can get as much done in class as possible. This way we get to learn about the harder parts of making the quilt in class. The tools that you need for making the homework, doing the homework for this class are obviously the pattern. This is the Krista Moser Summer Swag pattern that you can get from our quilt store, Not Your Mama's Quilt Store. Needless to say, you can get all these supplies from Not Your Mama's, and if you're taking the class, you get the 10% discount. But you need your pattern, you need your Creative Grids 60-degree diamond ruler, you need your regular cutting ruler, your long cutting ruler. The glow line tape is also very helpful when marking your ruler for the measurements that you will be using. Of course, your rotary cutter, your iron, and of course your beautiful fabric. So there are two different blocks that you will be doing for this quilt. There's the swag blocks and the star blocks. For the swag blocks, you will need a total of 12 different fabrics in 2 colorways. So 6 different fabrics in each colorway. In this case, I have blues and pinks. You will also need 4 different fabrics for your star blocks. You will need 2 fabrics for your star centers and 2 different fabrics for your star points.
And the white?
You will also need your background fabric. So first of all, we're gonna talk about our swag block fabrics and the cutting instructions for those. So we have 6 fabrics in blue, 6 in pink. For each blue fabric, you will be cutting 4 2.5-inch strips with the fabric, and you do the same for the other colorway, the pink in my case. You will also be cutting your background fabric 1.5 inches by width of fabric, and you will need 32 of these strips. The fabric for the star blocks for now, just set aside. So here are your cut strips, your 2.5 width of fabric strips of each of our 12 fabrics. Keep in mind that you will have 4 of each of these strips, the exact same, so 4 strips. So now's a good time to think about grouping your fabrics. So I have grouped my fabrics in what I think is a pleasing manner. So in my strip sets, when I start sewing them, these 3 fabrics will be in one strip set. This will be a strip set, this will be a strip set, and this will be a strip set. However, this is also a time to start thinking about placement of your fabric. For example, the top and bottom strips will be touching top and bottom strips of your other colorway. In this case, so this will be my top strip in the strip set, this will be the middle, this will be the end. But if you notice, this will be the same, top, middle, end. But eventually, if I keep it this way, this strip will be touching this strip, and they're very similar fabric, and really that's not too pleasing to the eye. So I am going to fix that by adjusting one of the strip sets. So I think I'm going to move this print to the center, and this will be the bottom. So now I know for a fact that these 2 prints will not be touching each other when I go put my blocks together. So the next step in this process is to cut our 2.5-inch strips on the selvage end at a 60-degree angle. In order to do that, we are using our Creative Grids 60-degree diamond ruler. I am also using the Glow Line tape in order to mark the markings that will help me cut my 2.5-inch strips. So on the ruler, I have put a tape where my 2.5 mark is. This also helps me make sure that I am using the correct side of the ruler. I'm wanting to work on this side where there's lines versus this side where the lines are just, there's different measurements and the lines are different. So the Glow Line tape is a great tool for this process. So next, we have to cut our 2.5-inch strip sets, the selvage end at a 60-degree angle. So what you do is you open up your width of fabric, and I think that it's better and a lot quicker if you pile 3 strip sets at a time. So put them nice and even on top of each other. Like so. Okay, then you take your ruler and see where I have marked the 2.5-inch marking on the ruler. That is going to be on the bottom of the strip set, and the top of the ruler is going to be on the top of the strip set. And this is the angle that we will be cutting. We will also be cutting the ear of the fabric. So with the rotary cutter, make your cut this way and this way, and it will look like this. So do that for all of your 2.5-inch strips. You will have 16 of these strip sets to cut just like this. After you've done all your 2.5-inch strip sets, you do the same process for your background fabric, the 1.5-inch strips. So again, open them up with the salvages on one side. So line them up nice and straight. With your ruler, now you'll be using the 1.5-inch measurement. So what you can do is either reuse this tape or tear off another one, but put it at your 1.5-inch measurement so that it will help you cut all of these correctly, because keep in mind that you'll have 32 of these strips to cut. So again, you place your ruler where the top is lined up with the top of your strip, and your bottom of the strip is lined up with the 1.5 measurement on your ruler, and you cut at the angle, and you cut off the ears as well. So do this for all 32 strips. So the next step is to lay out your strips as you want them sewn. I'm a very visual person, so I like to have it all set up like this. What you're going to do is you're going to sew your 1.5-inch background strip to your 2.5-inch strip. Your fronts facing each other. What's the other term?
Right sides together.
Right sides together. One of these days I'll get that. So as you can see here, where we cut off the little ear in the previous step, it helps you align these two strips perfectly. So where the ear got cut off, you match it up with the 60-degree angle of the 2.5-inch strip, and it will be sewn perfectly. Also, here you are ready to sew. Make sure you do a very accurate 1/4-inch seam. It's very important if you want your overall block to be the right size. When you're done sewing this, press your seams open and then sew your next piece, which is this one. So again, let's pretend these are sewn together and pressed. You align the bottom strip to the background strip, nice and straight. Align where you cut off the ear to the 60-degree angle. Sew your 1/4-inch seam and press open. So you go through this process. You're going to do this for all your strip sets. You will end up with 16 strip sets. You will bring all these strip sets to class. You don't have to do anything more with them. You are ready to go with these strip sets. Next, let's talk about the star blocks. So for the star blocks, basically all you have to do is cut your fabric needed for these blocks. These are the fabrics that I chose. So this is going to be my fabric for my star center. This is going to be the fabric for my star points. In the blue way, star center, star points. And this is the background fabric. So basically you need to cut 5 4.5-inch strips by width of fabric of your background fabric. You need to cut for the star points, you need 2 4.5-inch strips width of fabric from each of these. And for your star centers, you need 1 4.5-inch width of fabric of each of these. And so basically that's all your homework. When you're done cutting these, put these in like a Ziploc, something separate, so that they're all together and don't get mixed up with all your other stuff. So looking forward to seeing you in class. It's a quick, it's gonna, once we start cutting our blocks, you'll quickly see the design and you're gonna be thrilled with it. See you later. Hi, my name is Christina and I will be teaching the Summer Swag class. Sorry.
Ready?
Okay, yes. That you need to think about is grouping. No, stop. Take 2.